So in this lesson, we'll look at how to attack a castled king on the same side, because we often hear about uncastled king or opposite side castling, but this time we'll see what it's like to start it on the same side.
This is fantastic. I love the creativity of your themes, and I often enough you have a show theme which I have never ever thought of or read about or saw anything like this. And of course, the pattern exists, and something like this might exist. But I love those ideas. So yeah, I'd love to know how to fight against a king who's castled the same side like I have.
I'm glad because sometimes I run out of ideas already after so many shows, so I'm glad you think they're creative and you like them.
I do. I do.
Um, but yeah, of course, opportunities for attacks will vary a lot from opening to opening. So this is just one game, and we'll see a masterclass by former world champ Alexander Alekhine, and I'll point out some of the concepts that I think could apply to other positions as well, while you and anybody watching can also guess the right continuations in a few moments that we'll stop it at.
Let's roll. Okay, I'm curious.
Okay, let's look at it from the black side. The opening is not too important, but I'll just show it anyway so that we know how we got there. But it was a Ruy Lopez. And after a few
Hmm.
interesting trades like this, I actually found this structure a bit similar to the Scotch Gambit, maybe, when the knight is here and the bishop is here, these pawns are
Mm.
doubled.
Hmm.
But still, the position is definitely different. How do you think you would play this position as white? Let's start with that.
Okay, so how would I play this as white? Well, I would. Well, there's two options for me. Actually, okay, so now I know about the theme already, but I'm not even thinking a single second about attacking on the king side with white right now.
Yeah.
Instead, I would actually try to push a bit further on the queen side. There's an open file, there's two double pawns. Maybe I can get a little ahead if I develop my pieces a bit more and push the pawns forward.
hmm that makes a lot of sense. One thing that you didn't mention, but I think we can all agree on is this knight right here that's really strong. So maybe the initial idea would be to kick it out
Now
and
that you mentioned that, that's a great idea, actually.
and just to get it out of there. And surprisingly, the best move is actually to just take that knight and then a bit of the queenside play, like you said, but this one is just mainly preventing Black's attack. But yeah, it's two bishops against two knights. The position is a bit closed, and white is pretty solid and can maybe even create an attack of their own
Hmm.
someday. So this was the best one. Knight d2 is also a very reasonable move that doesn't lead to any worse position. But what white did in the game, and it does make sense, it is to play f4. So just supporting that pawn and solidifying the pawn structure.
Yeah.
But is there anything wrong with this move, and what are you thinking now as black?
Okay, so yes, I think there's a couple of things wrong with this move. I understand this idea or the pattern to like defend the e5 pawn, but of course it opens the king a little more, and now we have kind of a hook. So now it is time to play the weird idea g5 at one point, or maybe queen h4. This is what I really am looking forward to if I'm black and I'm playing against white in a Ruy Lopez or an Italian game, which has some similar structures. If the f4 pawn is open, or it's also h4 or even h3, these are all hooks for my pawns to try to strike.
Exactly, perfect. Any pawn that moves next to the king can become a hook too. And yeah, now black can create an attack because of the weaknesses. But the way he did it was actually a bit special because it wasn't that direct. So let's see it. And the moves you've mentioned, G5 is a plan, Queen H4 is a plan. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can probably even start with it, but it's a bit unclear. I mean, you would rather prepare it a little bit
Yeah.
more. So first he plays Queen E8
Okay. Yeah.
just to bring well, maybe just defend this pawn and for the future. and bring the queen there, although queen h4 was also great and it was one of the options. Now, what's the next plan?
Hmm. So at one point, there might be the idea, and it doesn't hurt at all, to get the king to h8. And of course, the queen went to e8 to go to g6 at one point. I wouldn't go there right now because, well, I'm not sure. I have to calculate, of course, but I probably think about that I would like to have the queen behind my pawns. So yeah, not 100% sure yet. Also, we have to be careful of the bishop e3 move now for a second.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, we do. But you're making all the right choices too. King h8 is a good move. Not it hasn't been played yet,
Okay.
but it will be played at some point in the game. And with the pawns, I also the first time I've looked at this position, I was really kind of focused on that g5 plan because of the theme and just because, that f4 pawn was really
Yeah.
screaming at us that we need to play something like g5.
I need to
But
mention one last thing, sorry, and then,
yeah, go.
sorry, excuse me. So it's a5 and bishop a6 is on my mind the whole time as well, because it will just get another piece in and it has a beautiful diagonal. Okay, now I'm shutting up.
No, that's good. Don't you can always say it. No worries. That's a good plan as well. And actually, like I wouldn't be surprised if a5 is also one of the best moves. So the other common plan, you actually haven't mentioned it yet. There's one more. And this one, that's why I said in this game the attack is not super direct, but rather you improve other pieces first. And one common plan for black, I mean, I know it from the Scotch Gambit, and it is to move the bishop and to push c5 to gain a
Aha.
center. So that's another thing, but actually I think a5 was another main move, but it's because you prevent b4.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get to the move.
Hmm.
So that would have been good as well, and bishop
That's an
a6.
interesting idea, bishop b6. I get it. Mhm.
Yeah. So then this bishop came here for now, preparing to open that bishop later.
Yeah, by the way, if you haven't watched the Scotch Gambit courses by Svitlana, I highly recommend doing so. And you are also taking care of explaining it exactly like this. For example, the patterns of how to play the Scotch or what to play against it or something like that.
True. I mean, I do it as white. Here we're
Yeah,
looking at the example from black, but either way, that's true. It's one of my favorite online openings. It used to be. So, so yeah, so these, although this one is not really like the Scotch Gambit, but it's kind of similar.
sure.
So what white needed to do in this game was to trade off that knight because it's just such a strong piece that you just want to get rid of it, and then play that b4 move that we've talked about
Prevent
um
c5.
to prevent to make c5 a bit more uncomfortable. But yeah, that's what white needed to do. But instead, knight comes here, and everything looks fine. Like, I mean, I don't see white making any big mistakes. But as we see, black's attack is also building up. So now Alekhine, I never know whether to say Alekhin in the Russian way or just Alekhine in the
I,
English way,
I
but you
think,
know what
yeah,
I
I
mean.
think you have you know an English way and you know the correct way. Let's say it
And
like
I
that. So
combine them.
you can really combine them.
Yeah, which makes it worse. So yeah, many things were possible here, but he chose to put another pawn here. And now White's knight kind of wasted a few tempos while Black continued putting this control over in the center.
Mhm.
So for now, the queen came over here instead of g6, which is also an interesting place. By the way, d4 was not possible yet
Yeah,
because there's white has too many defenders there, so that's for now not a thing. So here white's position looks fairly safe. And the question is, how do you think you would begin an attack here? Or what you would do next doesn't have to be an attack.
well, we have a threat now, which is d4 and knight going away. No, we don't have a threat yet. Actually, there's a knight on f3 in the path. So
Hmm.
okay, how about we take this for our advantage, and now it's the time to strike with g5, because if g5 takes with the knight, we have the option d4 and knight with a discovered attack, probably. Like our knight goes to, I don't know, d2 maybe even. And then we threaten checkmate. And if g5 is taken with the pawn, I think we can just move f4 forward. Yeah, maybe all of this is wrong because I'm too quick and I still have to prepare a couple of moves. But yeah, these are some things I am thinking about. Maybe you have to prepare with h6 before.
I like it. I mean, G5 doesn't work immediately, I would
Damn it.
think.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Like it
Or
does
I'm
look
just
good. Like I
sacrificing too much. Yeah.
totally see. I just wonder whether you take with the knight or the bishop. I guess either one. I chose the knight. Maybe that's wrong. It's the bishop.
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
So you as white would have probably had some trouble.
Yeah, maybe I would have had trouble. But
Yeah, but
yeah, it's
I cannot follow
everything
up.
is okay, but it's just not yet coming together super nicely
Yep.
for black to actually have a big threat. But you're totally right. So your thought process was correct. We play h6 first with potential for g5 later. And after white moves just random rook move to maybe prevent some of these f4 ideas,
Yeah.
then we play your move, king h8,
Ah, okay.
to just be safe first. And I think it's one concept is that you can recognize when you can prioritize safety and when you have to strike quickly. And here, because white doesn't have an immediate plan that destroys all of our attack, we can actually improve pieces first. So here it's totally okay.
I quickly want to mention one thing about the king h8 move. And when I was attacking on the same king side in my youth, often enough when I did that move, my opponent knew already, oh no, there's an attack coming. So I hated to make this move because now I gave it away.
Yeah, no,
Nowadays it's not like this anymore, but just remember those times.
that's funny. I mean, you don't, it's sometimes it's for safety though, not for the attack,
Exactly,
but
that's what
you're
I
right.
told my opponent too. It's just for safety.
Yeah. You can always bluff like that. And then I guess like white did the same thing.
Ah, yeah.
Now they're both doing it.
They're both safe. Now imagine the
Yeah.
king goes back to g8 again.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, to have it repeat. So we've improved. Now now what do we do?
Now I would put the rook to g8. Another
Fair
slow
enough.
move, but yeah.
Fair enough. I would definitely consider that move too. But there is maybe one thing that like I've been confusing you about this whole game. Although G5 is kind of the like a good plan in this situation, we actually might want to play with our pieces on the king side because now
Interesting.
that white is also like relatively safe and our king is on h8, when we play g5, it's not like there's a huge threat. So imagine we play it. White can do absolutely nothing and it's not gonna
Change
like
the situation.
it's not gonna change the situation much because we're not threatening to take.
Okay.
G4, sure, maybe is a move, but it's not gonna checkmate white. But like G4 is probably the bigger plan, but it's not gonna do anything just yet, and it kind of closes the game a bit more. So what Black decided to do, I mean, I just thought the plan was kind of nice, is that the queen swings over from the other side, and before even maybe he'll play G5 later, but just to bring the queen over here
Hmm.
is useful for the extra threats. I mean, knight G3 would be very nice, but white prevents it.
Hmm.
And now what's the next plan?
Well, our rooks want to go over, so we have to get one of the rooks to e8 so it can go to e6 and then to g6. It takes ages though. That's the only problem. So, but that would be my plan.
It's not a problem in this position to take ages. I'm sure it would still be okay, but there's something that's like much, much more decisive.
Is it though? Okay, let me check then. Is there already a nice tactic? Or is g5 now a good? No, it's not that. Or is it? No, it's not. Or is it? No, it's not. Okay, never mind. So d4. What about that? Yeah, d4 is good, I think.
And what's your idea after takes? Bishop takes, let's say.
Yeah, maybe it's not that good. Huh, I'm confused. Okay, so what is a good move, Svitlana? What do you want to teach us here? Oh, I have to think like Alekhine or Alekhine.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it. Can you find it out at home? I'm struggling right now. Maybe my tactics are a little rusty.
No, you're not struggling.
Hmm.
It's actually something you've mentioned already.
But what could it be? That is interesting. So look at this position. Like you see many options, but something is off. I don't know what yet. I'm still stuck on d4. But I have to calculate. I think it's d4. It feels like d4 is the right move, and I don't know
Okay.
if it's true.
Takes, and then bishop takes.
Yeah. And then the knight, because that's the whole plan. G3 check doesn't help. It just doesn't help. Svitlana, it's not working.
Okay, I'll tell
Yes,
you
please.
the first part. You're totally right about the
Ah.
fact that d4 is the best move. So everyone who found that, that's great.
Something feels like it, but I
It is
couldn't
d4.
find it. Damn it.
And all the other moves, like, making a rook move, just anything, they all maintain the advantage as well. So it wouldn't be, criminal to play that. But d4 is something we've been looking for a very
Okay.
long time. So
So in
takes.
a long game, I would calculate this to the very end.
So
Let's be honest.
the
Yeah. I see it
counterpart,
now. I see it now.
what is it?
So we take again with the bishop, and if
Yeah,
the rook takes back, we take with the rook. It's all
yeah,
about getting the knight away, the knight on
yeah.
f3, as I mentioned earlier. So now, so there's a couple of options, I think. Probably, what's the best one? So what we want to do at the end is get the knight away from e4 and take on h3 with the queen. That's where it's funny. So now I'm
Hmm.
thinking, is it knight d2, but we're just losing a knight, so not sure about that. Knight g3 with check threat, but there's always the queen protecting, sadly. Is there an even more forcing idea or more fun way to do this? Oh, maybe we take with the queen first? Does that work? No, it doesn't.
Why doesn't it?
Well, we take, pawn takes, knight goes somewhere. And I don't see a checkmate or how we can win the piece back yet. It's a double check, of course. Oh my goodness, it's checkmate.
Why you found it?
Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I don't know this game. Is it a classic? It must be. So, queen
I
takes.
mean, relatively, but not.
Oh my god, it's so cool. So, queen takes h3. And we give the so after pawn takes, because I mean pawn doesn't have to take, and probably in the game they didn't take, but then
No,
knight.
they did take.
Oh, okay. Wow. How nice. So now
Yeah.
it's knight f2, check, double check. That means the king has to move.
Yeah, no cover. Like this blocked all
Yeah.
possible coverage from white pieces.
And we give a checkmate on h3. It's so cool. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
I also thought it was a really nice finish. It's hard to see it all the way from d4, but if you have the belief that that move must be right, then maybe you do it, which is
Yes.
what we did.
I hope
Um,
someone calculated it. But this is funny because this feeling, there must be something. It has to work. There's so many things on the board at a certain level. So I'm just the 2000 maximum. So at a certain level, you already have like this, like, okay, something is working. Sometimes it doesn't work, obviously,
yeah,
but here it felt so much d4 has to work.
exactly.
What a
And
great
also
game.
all of Black's pieces were kind of in their best positions at that point,
Yep.
so maybe you might want to use that chance. But yeah, I thought it was a kind of a unique example of like Black's attack.
Mhm.
And this was only possible because Alekhine was moving like like Alekhine was really creating that center first and made sure that there was no counterplay
Mm.
and only then kind of starting this attacking sequence. So as in any attack, it's nice to optimize your pieces before striking and to not rush. But it was fun, and I thought it could show that not every attack has to happen with a pawn storm on that other side that exposes your own king,
Hmm.
but you could take control on the other side, distract the opponent's pieces, and then strike on the other, or in the center, like he did in this game. So it's an attack is basically always possible if everything else is under control. If the opponent has no counterplay, you can always find a way to do that by bringing your pieces closer. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Svetlana. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We see each other soon.